Welcome all to my new video. Today I am going to introduce biology, the fifth chapter, unit 1. So let's get started. Unit 1, How Plants Grow. We have already studied about ecosystem from mangroves to forests, but did you ever wonder how did so many plants come to be on the earth? What about all the animals, birds, and what about us humans? We know that very first kingdom which took birth on earth was plant kingdom. So let's start investigating from plant kingdom. So the very first question that comes to my mind is, how do plants grow? And we know its answer by moving to past and searching history of plant kingdom. What are plants made of? The willow tree experiment. In the 17th century, Johannes Baptista van Helmont, 1580 to 1644, a Belgian scientist, performed an experiment on a willow tree. He was interested in knowing of what is the plants made of. In ancient time, people believed that everything is made of four elements, which are air, water, fire, and earth. But Van Helmont believed that water is the most basic element on the earth and everything can be made of water. To prove this, he settled a willow tree plant sapling before starting the experiment. He weighted the sapling and soil in which the plant was supposed to grow. He decided to grow the plant for next 5 years and see the conclusion. After next 5 years, the scientist again measured the mass of the plant and soil, and he noticed that the plant grown very big, but the soil has reduced from the previous amount. And finally, the scientist concluded the growth of plant was due to water. Along with the water, are plants made of starch? Let's see. Many animals, including ourselves, eat plants, so we should know that how the plants prepare food for us to eat. Taking this idea further, we should take an example. The potato is a tuber produced by the plant and is eaten by people in many parts of the world. Our search for food substance in it begin by cutting a small, very thin slice of potato and examining it under a microscope. When this is done, the cells are found to contain colorless grains of starch, which are quite difficult to see. They can be made more visible by adding a dilute solution of iodine to the slice. This turns the starch blue-black. The dilute solution is one of the chemical which is used for tasting starch in any part of plant or any fruit. Tasting a leaf for starch. The way is discovered to identify starch in plant. It can be extended to look for starch in leaves. Iodine does not produce a color change when it is placed on the leaf because the cell walls will not allow the iodine into the cell and the green pigment masks any color change. The leaf can be tasted for starch if it is first treated with the boiling water and ethanol. The boiling makes it easier for liquid to leave and enter the plant cells. The ethanol removes the chlorophyll green pigment from the leaf and makes the leaf crisp. So here, before tasting for starch, we have to use boiling water in which we can boil the leaf, and also to use ethanol, which can remove chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is basically green pigment that gives a leaf its color. Investigating the effect of carbon dioxide on starch production. Soda lime is a substance that absorbs carbon dioxide and takes it out of the air. Sodium hydrogen carbonate solution is a liquid that releases carbon dioxide into the air. This soda lime and sodium hydrogen carbonate solution both are chemicals. Experiment is two plants were bought on a set, were wrapped with plastic polythene with soil, each keeping with chemical in alternate plant, such as one chemical in one plant, another chemical in other plant. Conclusion: the plant which has been kept in soda lime will not contain starch, and the plant which has been kept in sodium hydrogen carbonate solution will contain starch, because starch is made of carbon dioxide. So the formula for starch is hydrogen plus oxygen plus carbon dioxide. So H2O is formula of water, and as plant is getting water, it is also getting hydrogen plus oxygen. But the scientists were confused from where the plant is getting carbon dioxide. So they got to know by this experiment that with the help of carbon dioxide, the plant is making or producing starch. Moving on to next slide. So how plants make starch from the air? Stephen Hales, 1677 to 1761. An English scientist discovered that a portion of air helps the plant to service, and Jan Ingenhousz, 1730 to 1799, a Dutch scientist, showed that a green plant takes up carbon dioxide from the air when they are put in the light. The scientist noticed that as Van Helmont's idea, he said that the plant is grown only with water, but water only has hydrogen plus oxygen. So, from where the carbon dioxide comes to form carbohydrates. So, what I say, the same thing I am explaining now. Now, the conclusion was that scientist Ingenhousz work suggests that the only thing that comes in contact with the plants other than water is air, and said most probably if plant is making carbon, it would need carbon dioxide. So it was provided that carbohydrate is made with the mixture of water plus carbon dioxide. Plant and oxygen. We knew that plant required water from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air to make their food. Till the 17th century. We got to know that till the 17th century. Joseph Priestley, 1733 to 1804. Studied how things burned at the time scientists used the phlogiston theory. They thought the every material like wood, etc., is made of phlogiston, and after burning every or any material, phlogiston is released in air. Means the air becomes phlogistonicated. Joseph Priestley discovered that when only things is burned, it releases phlogiston, but When the plant is kept near the phlogiston, stops releasing. Means if anything is burning and it is releasing phlogiston and any plant is kept near it, the phlogiston will stop releasing from the object, XYZ object. That means it contains oxygen, and this was the fascinating invention. So, because of it, the scientists got to know that by an incident that there is oxygen in plant and plant releases oxygen. So this was the fascinating invention for the scientists investigating oxygen production in plants. For tasting, we can better use water plants that could release oxygen, and we can see it into the water in form of bubbles. Experiment. Two Canadian pond keep both in water with funnels. Burn, burn one in sunlight and one in dark. So, of course, the conclusion would be that the one with sunlight will produce oxygen and plant in dark will produce oxygen. Plant and light. We know that with the help of water and carbon dioxide produce starch and give out oxygen. But can starch be produced without sunlight? Experiment. Keep the leaf of plant folded in aluminium and a leaf in transparent bag. Conclusion. The plant's leaf that was kept in aluminium would not have starch, and the plant or leaf in plastic bag will have starch. So starch is made of sunlight. Putting it all together, photosynthesis. So we can think of plant as a machine that creates food. This process of creating food is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is made of water plus carbon dioxide. With the help of sunlight, it makes food as starch plus oxygen. After the process of photosynthesis, the plant produces oxygen, and oxygen is used for and uh, breathing and also the burning of something is mainly because of oxygen. So if thanks for watching and check out my new videos.